Alright, everybody, my name is Etek. We're here with K Mullins Incorporated, K-Rated Gaming, Chris Mullins,
The hub.
and Miguel. How are you guys doing today?
Doing
I'm
very
doing
good.
wonderful.
So, of course, we have Mullins, who lived through this time period as a middle schooler, right? Or elementary schooler.
I was
Um,
late elementary school.
yeah. I was 2 years old, so I'm re-watching it from when I watched it, like old tapes, so it's in better quality, I should say, basically, on the network. And Miguel is a millennial.
Remastered.
Miguel's a millennial who's never seen this,
Never watched
and
this.
he got lucky, unlike us. So we're going to be talking about killing WCW and what killed it in the episode. We're going to be just going from when Bischoff and Russo have taken over.
Which was April 10th, 2000, all the way to the end.
And we're gonna take it to the end. So of course we have this is the episode where Russo made his on-screen appearance, completely trashed on Flair. Bischoff out
Completely
there
trashed on Vince McMahon.
trashed on Hogan, and very good shoot, if I should say. Um, but it felt like during the show there were like 5 parts in particular where they could have just ended the show off. Um, you know, I guess we'll just take it bit by bit, and then we'll say, hey, this is where they could have just ended the show, and then we'll talk about how they ended it and why I wasn't a big fan of it. Because it was like, oh, we got another 20 minutes. Oh, we got 6 more minutes. Oh,
Yeah, like
that's how
literally,
we end it?
every time I thought the show was over, it still had time left.
Yeah. So, kicking off, of course, we had the entire roster there. Brian Knobbs looking happy. He's like, ha ha ha, I'm tag team champion or something.
Hardcore champion.
A hardcore champion, yeah. And he's like, ha ha ha, I love my job. And then come by the end of it, Russo's like, we're vacating all the titles.
And that really triggered
And
him.
you could just see on his face, he was like, oh. Like, he just had that look of, like, depression at that
He's
moment.
like, really? I worked to get this title, now I have to give it up.
Yeah. You also had Jeff Jarrett, who was pretty ticked off that he had to vacate the title, but it was at the expense of him automatically becoming #1 contender for the world title, of course.
Like, automatically being put in the championship match for that.
Yes, however, I believe the world champion is technically Goldberg, though, right?
No, it was Vicious. He
was
vacated the
Oh,
title
yeah.
at the beginning of the show.
Yeah. Yeah, Vicious was the last one to vacate his title, which I'm surprised he did, but at the same time, Bischoff was like, I'll heel if you beat me up, but I'll get to watch you be unemployed or something like that. So, you know, during the entire show, you get that feel, that vibe that, man, is this real? Like when you see Tank Abbott go out there and beat up Mark Madden, just throws his shirt off and starts kicking him, punching him in the stomach. And it's like, it's like, did he legitly hate Mark Madden? Like, what?
We
was
had
going
at
on?
least 3 people show up that were not currently at least listed under WCW contract as what the announcers had said.
Yeah, we had a lot
At
of
least
ballsy
3
things
people showed
going on
up.
too. We had Tank Abbott, who challenged Goldberg, who didn't come out, of course, who stayed at home. We had Billy Kidman, of all people, challenge Hulk Hogan. And Hogan got betrayed by Bischoff and just smashed his forehead in. It was bleeding everywhere. By the way, that's why they had guys like Flair and him wear the white shirts, because they could get even more blood everywhere.
Because it looked even worse when you wear a white shirt and it's all bloody.
Yeah. So, you know, Hogan, and during the entire time of this, Hogan will run around backstage and be like, "Where's Bischoff at?" And he's just like, head is
He's just
bleeding, and
gushing.
like you would think the medical team would try to be like, "Hey, take a Band-Aid, you know, like sit down for a minute, like take an ice pack, like dude, calm down." But no, he's just running around backstage. Like, it makes me feel like during the show, everybody was just doing everything, and if they caught something cool backstage, they transitioned the camera to that. You know
They're
what
like,
I mean?
okay, we're going to watch you for a second.
Yeah, and half of the more important people showed up late. You know what I mean? Like, halfway during the show, they were like, I made it to Nitro. Now you can all be proud of me.
Like, literally, Kevin Nash strolls in Like, to start the second hour. This is only a 2-hour program. To start the second hour, Kevin Nash strolls in.
Of course, he was injured though at the time, so.
Yes, he wasn't wrestling anyway.
We had, I don't think, a single tag team match, by the way.
Nope, it was a lot of singles matches, a lot of segments. There was 4 or 5 maybe singles matches.
Yeah, and
If
it
you
was all
really
building
consider
to that
if you really
tournament,
consider the
at the
Flair Douglas match a singles match.
No. Well, it's weird because the referee rang the bell, like, when Russo came down with the baseball bat and looked like he was straight up shoot fighting Flair with the baseball bat, a 50-year-old Ric Flair.
Just drilling him.
Yeah. I don't know, just this, like, I like it how it's very, you don't know what's real and what's not, but at the same time, that was another big problem with WCW, you know?
Is you don't understand what's going on, so it's not even storytelling at this point. It's just kind of, okay, we're going to tell you this, and then we're going to just be like, okay, well, we're going to scrap that for a little bit, and we're going to go to this now. Oh, but we're going to bring you back to this that we talked to you about briefly before.
But I'll definitely say this, it was a decent show, but in terms of, there's no build for wrestlers at all. Every single match ended with some kind of guy getting in there, interfering, costing someone the win. It was very, all the guys who should be built, like the new blood guys, didn't get a good build at all.
They spent the whole first half an hour
people.
talking about how the young guys need to get their chance and whatnot.
Yeah, and it's all old guys
they spent
wrestling.
all this time on all the old guys.
Exactly. Let's talk about where the show really should have ended. There was a part where Bischoff is in a Hummer with Billy Kidman and just rams into Hulk Hogan's limousine. By the way, Hulk Hogan is still in the limousine on the phone, and he's bleeding still. Like, they have not patched him up in his own limousine, but whatever. Yeah, he rams into the limousine with the Hummer, and you're like, this is where the show should end. And then you come back from the commercial break.
And you're like, no, we still got match.
Well, we come back and, like, Bischoff and Kidman spray paint Hogan as he's going on the stretcher, and we just transition into the next match. And so, but yeah, we had DDP and Sting as like the main event.
Winner moves on to face Jarrett.
Yeah, which involved Jeff Jarrett attacking DDP's wife, and DDP would get the win because Vampiro would attack Sting. And just giant mess. Never a clean win.
The thing is they tried to they tried to basically reboot, but they tried to jumpstart way too many feuds in one night.
Yeah. I think that's a good way to say it. Is they really
like, because let's think about this. Like, just single-handedly, this episode alone jump started the Vampiro Sting feud.
Mm-hmm.
Paige
Flair,
Jarrett,
Shane Douglas.
Flair, Shane Douglas.
Flair and Russo.
Hogan and Bischoff. Hogan and Kidman. Freaking Stasiak and
Luger and someone else. Yeah.
Stasiak.
Tank Abbott and Goldberg, I guess.
Yeah, like literally, like look at all the things they tried to start up in one episode.
And the show ends with, at the very end, we see not Scott Steiner, sorry. We see Jeff Jarrett come out there, my boy Jeff Jarrett comes out there, beats a heel, ticks off everybody goes in the ring, starts fighting, and at the very end, as they're like slowing down fighting, Russo and Bischoff come out and they're like, yeah, you like this, and then right behind them is Bret Hart, and that ends the show, just right there. That's how it ends.
Like,
you just see Bret Hart.
Like, there's no reaction from Bret Hart, you just see him.
The crowd doesn't even mark out or nothing. The crowd's just like, cool. Bret Hart is
just like, huh?
He's back, so. So yeah, as we were saying, with the whole WCW stuff, before I lost my track, as always, we're now going to Slamboree?
Yeah, no,
six
Spring
days,
Stampede.
which,
Spring Stampede, 6 days. You got all the titles are going to be on the line because there's no champions. Because you know what we do right before a pay-per-view, the week before? We're going to vacate all the titles.
Reboot the company,
Like
and then
literally,
put
think
them
about
back
that. Like
online.
that means they literally built a card in 1 week.
Mm-hmm. And it's not good. I think they really should have. They should have given it that 4 week build. They should have came off of
Or at
pay
least
per
a two
view.
week. At least 2 weeks. Like you can't do
Yeah.
it in less than 7 days. You
Well, they
cannot
tried to do an
build a pay
entire
per view.
tournament. They tried to do an entire tournament and build a show based off the bias that, hey, we're going to give new guys an opportunity, but the new guys just got to beat up the old guys to screw them out and mess with them. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, like basically this was just, hey, we're gonna just stick it to you for the rest of your career.
there was no tag team stuff. There was no cruiserweight stuff. There was no hardcore stuff. There was simply just old guys
It was just the top guys.
getting messed with by the authority figures and
Like
the
I said when
youngish
watching
guys.
this, I said this would be a really crappy show to go to in general. But it would be also, like, back then, it might have been a good show to go to just for the fact that you saw every big name wrestle.
Yeah, you did.
And the
you don't
fact
know what's
that you
going
really
on.
didn't know what was going on. Like,
Yeah.
literally, my mind would be like, what's going on? I don't know what's going to happen next.
Exactly. So, from there, well, it's the April 10th, 2000 Nitro 238, and we will see you all at Slamboree for the next episode. Adios.